Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we've got Pilgrim of Many Pilgrims. One of the regulars sent me this, and thank you for sending this in, by the way, Pilgrim, because it's actually a great game. And not necessarily a great game because of the result, but because of the learning that we can take from it. He sent me this and said mistakes were made. So I took a look at it, and yeah, definitely some mistakes were made. And it's an interesting one. I think it's instructive too, because it speaks directly to one of the things I talk about a lot. And it's also, interestingly, as I've done this for a while, one of the things that a lot of players come back, especially the newer players or the lower skilled players who are getting a lot better by watching the channel. One of the big pieces of advice that really sticks with a lot of people and probably improves their gameplay the most, at least initially, until they start making more dynamic decisions, is to take a very basic dynamic decision and start doing it. And that is, once you win your flank, go back to base. And I get more comments on that one from people who did not understand that until they started watching the channel, getting better at the game, starting to analyze their own gameplay, taking a critical eye to their replays and go, wow, Guido's right. If you win your flank, why push into the enemy base, bring their campers into play before you go back and deal with their other flank? Now, if both flanks win, your team anyway, both flanks win, then clearly do what you got to do from there. Go to the damage in that case. But if your flank wins and the other flank loses, more than likely you need to go back. Now, there are some cases where you're losing so badly, a fast push to an undefended enemy cap may get a fast cap on them and sneak a win. That's a situation that doesn't happen a lot, and you're stealing a win in that case. But yes, that's a possibility. There's other possibilities, but as a general rule, and this is an interesting one, because as a general rule, this one is about as surefire as you can get. If you win your cap, you win your flank, and the other flank loses, or your cap is threatened, go back. I mean, it really is pretty simple. There are nuances, there are exceptions like I said, but just because there are small exceptions doesn't mean that the general advice isn't very, very good. So you can see that he's come up here to the northeast hill and help him fight. Now, what was interesting is they found that Type 61 who went crazy, took a very aggressive forward position and lost. And he's got a lot of guys pushing the hill, and that's good. That means the southeast hill is weak. And that's part of the analysis as you're coming up here, right? So let's just pause this for a second and look at where everybody is. There's 3 tanks down on the southwest hill. There's a bunch of them up here on the northeast hill. There's also 3 artillery in the game, and you can see that both Pilgrim's team and the enemy, the Reds, are getting just absolutely hammered by the artillery. But artillery has to make a choice here. Do I support the northeast or do I support the southwest? And it looks like a good chunk of the enemy, at least one, I think 2, is pounding on the guys. And the problem with this many tanks up here, which is why I think Pilgrim stood back for a bit, is that once you get 3 or 4 or more up here, you're very vulnerable to artillery. This guy on the very inside right here, I think it's the King Tiger, is relatively safe. Can still be splashed. These guys are absolutely in the line of fire and can be directly hit. Pilgrim sort of sees this going on. I think he decided he needed to get up here and start helping. Basically, they needed to kill these guys, take away the spot so they stopped getting hit by artillery. And this is a good chunk of the enemy team. But look at the 705's kind of in the middle right there. This is a nice shot right into the side of the Caernarfon. The 705 sitting on the ramp. I'm surprised he's not still spotted, so I'm not. He must be behind a rock or something right there. We have a couple shot selection issues right there. I think I would have gone right into the side of his pike nose instead of trying to sneak into the bottom. What was interesting right there, actually, Pilgrim, is that's actually a worse angle than this one right now, even though it's thinner armor. That's a crazy angle right there, so definitely just punch it right into the side of the pike nose or this little flat-plated area right here. He's looking at you. There's an artillery shot, and we get a shot in there. I think I got, there we go. Let's get your camera back. The 705 is making a move. It looks like he's coming up to try to relieve pressure. A couple of your guys are near deads, and it looks like they're in good shape here, but you do a nice job of sneaking one in on that guy. I see you looking. Be careful right there about looking and moving your turret. He wasn't quite around the side right there, but possibility of either giving side turret to these guys or even to that guy. You know, if you start looking this way, now it's side turret to both of them. I think you saw that and quickly corrected it. And oh man, that happens. Caernarfon comes popping out and just blocks that shot for his buddy. The 705 takes a couple hits, and you turn around to deal with the threat back there There's that artillery. Pretty lucky, actually, that a S51 only did 165. That's nice. Maybe he's got the small gun. I don't know. Nice shot selection right into the front there. 34-100's going in to get his shot. And the 705 is probably just about reloaded. He was, but he bounced, thank goodness. Now we'll turn around. So that was actually an interesting thing right there, and it's a small thing, but when you were turned around, if you'd have locked your turret and turned, the turret would have come with you, and it wouldn't have gone all the way around the back. It didn't hurt you here because you get the turret out forward, but sometimes you need the turret going in the same direction you're going really quickly. That was just a bummer. Not only does he get the shot, all you get is the track, but I think we get a kill here. There we go. So your 59 Patton friend is smart enough to get out there. We've got an ISM to deal with, and that's all. When you killed that, I said push, 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 get up there and get Artie safe. So I'm glad you didn't get hit, but what's interesting is the ISM comes around the bottom. I don't know if you suspected that or what the plan was right there, but we actually get around there. He takes a shot. I thought you were going to go right around and take a shot, but you don't, and he actually takes another shot right there. So he was just about reloaded. Good news is you can whack him. 59 Patton cleans up your mess, and we're at 2,821. So let's take a look at this. Think about what I said at the beginning. You've won your flank. Nicely done. 2,800 damage, 716 assist or spotting. In pretty good shape. 8-5. So we're definitely winning, but there's a Skoda up in the cap. Now, you'd have to tell us down in the description because there is still an IS-3 on the southwest hill. And that was kind of interesting. You might just take a quick glance at that and go, okay, that's fine. It's just a lone crazy Skoda going in the middle. But there's quite a few enemy tanks unaccounted for. So the question is, where are the rest of those guys? And probably the best answer is, and I know you know this because you sent me this replay and said as much, but right now is the time to head back. Just secure the cap. And even if you get about to here or so, and they clean up the Skoda and then you don't see anything else, now you got an option. Come around this way to help the IS-3, maybe go back up this hill, or just hang out. We've only got 5 minutes. You know, right now is not a bad time to camp. The beginning of the game is a terrible time to camp because they're going to own the hills and start get all kinds of crossfires on you. You've cleared off this hill. Not a bad time to go back. Now, I would be more active because I'd want to try to get damage. There's that S51 hitting you again. I feel like maybe he's running the smaller gun. He may not have the top gun. We back all the way out here. And this is where I saw you headed up. And I'm just going to speed this up just a little bit. And I started saying, no, no, don't. But we did, didn't we? Yes, we did. We're going to go up and over the top. Cruise around this way. Now watch what's going on back at the cap. Everybody went back except for Pilgrim. What's pretty funny is Pilgrim actually finds... There's a T-20 down here. T-20 is... on his side. Then he sees the SP. Because that 20 was lit and getting hammered, I think I would have just gone directly after the SP right there. Now, I don't know if he must have got lit because you lit him, but he didn't see you. So he knows he was spotted, and he ran off. So we're going to speed this up again. Now, look, the T-25 AT, and this was your second chance. All right, holy cow. The IS-3 is dead. The Tigers killed him and is probably moving towards cap. And 3 of their remaining tanks, that's all their tanks, are at my cap. And I know the 3400 and the 59 Patton are hurt. And the Defender camped in the back the whole time, so he's essentially useless as well. So I would have very little hope of this crew back here being able to hold off their aggressive pushers. So definitely go back right now. And we don't actually do that. So we're just going to speed this thing up. Come down here, we come across, zoom, zoom, zoom. Guys dying. People dying, babies crying. I mean, look at that. They've killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's down to 2 of you. Just the Defender, and they've lost the AT, and that is it. We're just going to keep on coming. We've kind of committed at this point. You know, we're probably going to have a loss here. We find that guy. We come over here. We look for this. I came to this end game here because I wanted to show you guys something that was actually a really nice job. I don't know where that shot went. That was amazing. Now watch the poor S51. I don't know. That was the damnedest series of 2 shots I've ever seen. Where those went, I have no idea. Maybe his Pilgrim shot went right under it. Clearly missed. Went under it, to the right, to the left, maybe through the little shield right through the opening in the shield. I don't know. That was bizarre. Now watch what he does. There's 3 seconds left. He is lit. Sorry, 9 seconds. 3 tanks, 9 seconds. He is lit. Now watch what he does, because this is extremely important for you guys. All right, just got hit. He's lining it up. And he shoots. Now watch what happens. Bloop. He got one. He actually hit one. Knocked him down. Took some of his cap points back. And that is a very important skill for those endgame saves or across the map dark kills, right? Killing dark guys that aren't spotted. That was really nicely done. And essentially he just took that direction finder, pointed the gun in that direction, looked at the elevation and where the possibilities were. Knew the guy was more than likely, well, he knew he was on cap actually, because there were 3 guys and there were 3 guys on cap. Maybe there's only 2. There will be 3 here in a minute. But anyway, point is, figured out where it was, laid his gun on azimuth, took the elevation cues off the actual elevation he was looking at and fired away. And it ended up working out. Now, it doesn't work out for him overall. He's going to come off this hill. He's making the old college try at this point, but it's obviously way too late. And he gets spotted right towards the end. He's going to take a shot. One more, just to see if he can't. Yeah, unfortunately, they've already done it. And then that guy hits him. He's right there. But they ended up capping it out. Looks like one of them came off the cap. I wonder if it was maybe the Skoda right there or what it was. Although, no, the Su-130 is not on cap. So the Skoda and the Tiger are the 2 that are on cap. And the Su-130 came forward for eyes, just so he would be the one that was spotted first if the guy happened to come across. So nice job on their part as well. And there you go, folks. 3,960 damage, 1,377 assists, 1,200, almost 1,300 blocked. He had 4 kills. It was a good game, right? Damage-wise. Chasing damage. So a really good example of when your flank, the other flank or the cap is threatened to go back. Why bring their campers into the game? Now, there weren't any really. There were 2 artillery. And that's the other thing. People get artillery fever. Oh, I got to get the artillery. I got to get back there, and it's going to help secure the game and get the artillery. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. Are you a light tank and it looks like everyone else is at cap and they may be able to hold them off? All right, not a bad idea. Maybe you can get in there and get the artillery. But in this case, because of the decision to go back should have been made so much earlier, obviously Pilgrim should have been back by the cap. And I suspect would have been a pretty easy win had he been back there helping them with the Conqueror. You know, a Su-130, a Skoda, and a Tiger II. This thing's going to have no trouble with any of those 3 tanks. Now, artillery was the X factor. Obviously, if he got spotted, he was going to be shot, but so were the other guys. So if he's the one being pinned down by artillery, then the other ones have opportunities. But clearly, more tanks back at the cap. Excuse me. Clearly, more tanks back at the cap would have helped secure this win. And I really think, and he said as much, and I think he believes this as well, this was probably a pretty easy win end game. And I think even at the second point where I said go back, he might have been able to help them win by getting back there. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. Pilgrim, again, really great example. Thanks for sending this in. For everyone else, we will see you.